What is going on, everybody? Episode 123 WIwrestle podcast. What's going on, dude?
Not much. I was kind of riding the high this morning of sometimes you get a good workout in or something, you're just kind of full of energy sort of thing, and you're just like
Keep it
riding the wave.
rolling.
Yeah, I still good, still got energy, but I'm kind of coming back
Yeah,
down a little bit.
hitting the
Yeah, I
play,
got breakfast in me.
going back to
Yeah,
baseline.
a little bit. I got breakfast in me, and now I'm just like, all right. Time to get into it. Time to get into the day. Same old, that sort of thing. But what about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for. It's been a weird couple of weeks with the Christmas break, and then like some big tournaments.
Routine, baby.
It's just weird. We're kind of getting back into the routine of things. I'm excited to be back in an event on Friday, but a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to catch up on. A lot of stuff to talk about. What's coming up?
High
Um,
school and college. There's a lot going on right now.
yes. We'll
RAF,
start.
a lot.
We'll get more on that later. That's a big announcement from RAF. But first thing, college weekend recap. We had an article on it, more in depth. But Bianchi wins the Southern Scuffle at 165 pounds. He had a nice ranked win in the finals. Put together a really solid tournament.
He won Wrestler of the Week too for the conference.
So Pac-12 Wrestler of the Week. That's his fourth time he's won that award. That dude's just kind of balling out. But
He's, he's he's like the steady Eddie of just continuing to always get better. I think we've said that before, but he just year over year, like from freshman year to high school, he is like if you could chart a graph that guy's been on, it's just literally just like
up.
steady incline. I don't know if he's ever had like this one, like Mitchell's maybe had that once or twice, or Keegan, where they boom, they just hit
I
like
would
one of
say
those.
Maddie's been just very steady because he's always been good and he's just always gotten better.
Always.
And it's kind of like that article he wrote, like a little underrated in the sense that like you kind of foreshadowed by. He's a four timer. I mean, this dude. It's not like he was an AA out of nowhere. He was one of the best recruits in high school. But he had two really good wins at the Scuffle semifinals. He had a ranked victory over number 19 and sudden victory, and then Gunnar Philippolets of Army. He beat 5-1 in the finals. That was number 22 in the country. So not
Yeah,
just winning it, but beating two ranked guys.
he's
Still
interesting
undefeated on the season too.
because he's ranked like sixth or something, I think, right now in the country or fifth. Like he's
Yep.
up there, right? And he's like one of those interesting guys because like he's ranked there for a reason because he's beaten other guys, like that are also ranked top 10. Like he's beaten the best guys, but like even a guy that's 19 or 22, it's like maybe you think he's gonna bonus him because like other people do that. Maddie kind of just wins. Like
Yep.
it's almost more impressive in a sense to say like he's just one of those guys where it's like you don't know exactly how he's going to win. Is he going to get bonus? Is he just going to get a decision? Is he going to control the match? That part you may not know, but the part that you do know is like no matter who's wrestling, he's so hard to beat. That's the thing. It's like how do you beat him versus how is the different ways he might win. It's just like how do you actually beat him? He's just people just can't see. You know what I mean?
Yep. The so he's
There's
number.
three guys in Wisconsin in the top eight.
I know the top 10 at this weight is freaking loaded. You got Mitchell at number one, Ladarian Lockett number two, Caliendo number three, Joey Blaze returning finalist. He's number four, Hunter Garvin number five, and then Maddie's number six. And then rounding out the top 10, you've got Downey of UNI at seven, Arujo of Nebraska at nine or at eight, and then Scholes is at nine, and then
Mm.
Bringolia of Lehigh at 10. So that top eight.
Did Lockett beat Caliendo or something? Or did Caliendo lose? How is Lockett?
Caliendo, Caliendo. That's a great question. Let's look it
Because
up.
I don't know the answer to that one.
That's actually really. I don't know.
Because that confuses me. I mean, Caliendo had to have lost or Lockett had to have beaten Caliendo, which I feel like I would have heard about
So
either way.
Caliendo is 8-1. Ladarian Lockett is 8-0.
What is
Caliendo lost to. Who did he lose to?
if
Come
it's
on,
a freaking injury?
man. Who would he have lost to?
Mitchell's the only person that would have beat him, and they haven't wrestled.
I know.
And I bet you it's an injury forfeit in like the finals or something.
Gosh, I don't even know how I'd figure out how to look that up.
Are you
But
on wrestle that?
Well, WrestleStat doesn't have all the matches. It shows his record.
It'll have all the matches. You just got to log in.
Oh, I don't have a login.
All right, keep going. I'll pull it up.
Man, who would he have lost to? He
I
would
got it. Just keep
upset.
going. Just give me a minute.
But can Skulls break into that top 8? It's gonna be tough, but
He
anything
was in the top 8.
was 9
So he
now.
just So the last rankings, the last couple rankings, he was number 8. So he must have just slid out.
And Maddie and Skulls wrestled, and it was fairly close, right? At duels.
Yeah, it was either overtime or like a late third period takedown, something like that for Maddie. It was a very close match. It was a one takedown match. I can't remember exactly how it fully played out, but
It
yeah.
was funny on FRL. They were talking about Maddie, and Piles was like, "That's just a guy I don't want to wrestle. He's a bruiser, and he really is. Everything's taped up. He's always beat up. He just goes out there and brawls." But
Oh, he did
super.
lose to Lockett 7-3
Oh, at the national duels then.
at
The
their
semifinal.
Oklahoma State Iowa duel. He lost to
Oh,
Lockett 7-3. I didn't realize that.
oh, dang.
And he beat Scholes 9-4. So again, like we know how good Caliendo is, but
Lockett
like
beat. Wait, who
yeah,
beat?
no. Caliendo beat Scholes 9-4. So I don't want to call anything a good loss, but like Caliendo bonuses and takes out most people, and Scholes being right there. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Soldier Salute, a lot of action there. Clayton Whiting of Minnesota took 7th. He had a good weekend. Nash Banco took 4th at 184. But 2 champs from Wisconsin. Oh, and Jacob Herm took 3rd. Also a very impressive weekend as the true freshman for South Dakota State. But
Mm-hmm.
Aiden Sinclair, currently number 2 in the country. He wins the title at 184 pounds. Bonus point machine, bonus all the way up until the finals, where he teched Jake Daly of North Carolina. Number 24 in the country. I don't know if you watched the match, but I watched it. Oh my gosh, was he just like Daly
Herm?
had no answers. Sinclair was move. I've
Oh,
never seen so much movement from Sinclair. He was faking. He was moving. It looked like he was drilling. The announcers literally like it looks like he's just at practice right now. He made
I
it so
saw
easy.
some
So easy.
highlights. I did not watch the whole thing.
His
But
low ankle shot that he's hitting, and then he like kind of sticks his head out the side and just kind of doubles off, and then gets to that answer position. So either doubles off or he can go answer. It's lights out. He looks so
I
good.
saw him hit the re-attack off of like a shot slash
Oh,
fake.
nasty.
And it was, oh my gosh. I was just like,
I didn't know he could move like
my
that.
immediate thought is like, my immediate thought was literally like, I don't even think, and obviously he was ready for it because he fell right into it, but also like the way he was standing in the stance, it almost was like he was just standing straight up. And
Just-
like, I felt like he wasn't even ready for it, and just instinct, he just went boop. And just, I was like you weren't even prepared to do that, and then you just did it.
So I will say, Coach Maple at Mizzou, one of the biggest things that he started working on when he got into our room was following a fake and just falling into the leg. And at first, it's so weird. It's like it's just
Really?
awkward, but just like you follow the fake and you just drop to it. Well, for a lot of guys, it's always like I'm shooting to the leg, I'm setting it up, I'm shooting, or there's a re-attack or whatever. But like as soon as he fakes, you bite on that fake and you just drop to the leg. And I definitely think a little bit of that has rubbed off on Aiden because he's just whether he's creating the action or the guy's moving, he's just into the leg, and then the rest takes care of
There was a
itself.
video of Yanni years ago, like early college days or something for him, where he was doing that, and it kind of caught on. But I remember seeing it, and I'm not saying I was good at it or anything like that, but like it seemed natural, like the way it was like shown, and then you try to go mess with it. It did for me. It seemed like a natural, like, oh yeah, why wouldn't you just? He's just okay,
Yeah,
But yeah,
but he looked
I mean, Aiden's very, very good at it.
very good. So he won it at 184 pounds. And then up at heavyweight, number 10, Coy Hopke brings home a title for the Gophers. He had a really solid run, a 2-0 win over Missouri's Samson Stillwell. In the quarters, he took out Daniel Herrera of Iowa State, who at the time was like the number 1 recruit, I think, the year after Hopke, if I want to say. He won 5-1. And then I would say the biggest win of Hopke's tournament came in the semis, where he took out number 8, Christian Carroll of Wyoming. Carroll's been having a great season, just took out Cole Mirsola.
Yeah.
Maybe a 1-loss season up until this point. He beat him
Another
6-1. Another
gonna
match
see
that we're never
more?
going to freaking see. Gosh.
Which one? Which one?
Mirsola and Hopke. They're gonna wrestle
Are we
all the same.
excited in the duel? Do they duel each other this year? We talked about this like over 2 months ago, I think.
I don't think they do all.
I don't think they duel each other this year.
We did the whole thing where we went and looked. Yeah, no, they don't.
Or maybe they do and we're remembering wrong. But Big
But,
Tens maybe they'll be on
but,
opposite sides of the bracket, or unfortunately someone's gonna lose when they're supposed to match up, and then it won't happen.
but
But now with a result like that, I know at the time I said I would have picked Cole. If I had to pick somebody, do you feel differently about the match that'll never happen?
I mean, after a 6-1 victory over Carroll, I mean, Carroll kind of beat Cole in all the scrambles from their Wyoming duel. I didn't see the match with Hopke and Carroll, but then Coy follows it up with a really good win in the finals over Ziola of Nebraska. Super solid guy. I believe he's a red shirt this year. He beat him 5-3. So I heard there was still, a little back and forth between Hopke and Tabor in the room, but this has got to solidify the spot for Hopke. I mean, I don't see any way that he is not the starter. I know they've been splitting time, but you beat a guy that beats the other guy. You win a bracket. You take out 2 ranked guys.
They got a top 10 ranked guy. Yeah, I would think so as well.
So
There's no way.
Hopke is now number 9 in the
I
country.
wonder how much of a difference it makes too, because like Hopke is because I said I felt more comfortable. I remember at this time saying Cole would All American. Like if I had to pick my comfortable rating of who would All American, I thought Cole would, and I still feel like he can. But Coy obviously being 9, I think Coy moves obviously really well, but I think he has more size, and that could have been the difference in because a guy like Carroll is massive. That dude is massive, and if you're not a big heavyweight. Like Cole's not a big heavyweight by any means. I mean that alone, that can be a factor. So in heavyweight, I think styles really make matchups a lot, like more than
100%.
other weight classes sometimes because of the weight and the way someone might wrestle.
So here's a question for you. We put number 17, Braxton Amos, number 14, Cole Marisola, and number 9, Coy Hopke on a mat. Who comes out on top?
I don't know. I think on right now, without seeing those matches, I genuinely think on any given day, probably
Anyone.
any one of those could beat it could go one guy goes 2-0, one guy goes 1-1, one guy goes 0-1. They could all beat each other. I genuinely think on any given day at this point, any one of them could win both matches or lose both matches.
It's tough. I agree with you. You got to pick one. The first round. It's so brutal. Because Amos is 17, but I mean, he hasn't lost.
The only reason he's at 17 is because he hasn't had opportunity to beat like the best guys yet. That's the only reason. Because the other rankings that aren't Flow already have him like number 9, or like they've climbed him up there, and they're doing that based on the eye test, but Flow's doing it like more on like the result base of like he has not wrestled those guys above him, which I think is the way you should do that. So I get it, but it doesn't mean he's not a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
I think he is, but he doesn't have the actual winning result right now at heavyweight to say, yes, he should be.
Dude, heavyweight's loaded. I feel like heavyweight's always loaded. But looking at this top 10.
Well, it's because you kind of, think about it, Jake. You get the combination, essentially, for the most part, of 2 weight classes, 2 high school weight classes, and like basically 2 freestyle weight classes. You get both of them put together, sometimes 3 when it comes to freestyle.
It's crazy that Amos is right there with Bastida. He's number 1. Trumbull, I feel like, has been in college for forever. Feldman is very solid. Ferrari.
Yeah, the only best guy he's wrestled is Bastida, and he was literally winning the match for, 6 of the 7 minutes. Yeah. 6.5 of the 7 minutes, and then he lost. So,
the big one this weekend, or on Friday, taking on number 5, Keeter. That will be kind of set the tone. I think you win that, you break into the top 10 for sure. Yeah. I'd hope. Because it's Keeter.
At this point, I think he would. He's got to.
And then Wisconsin wrestles Michigan, right? I think.
Maryland.
Well, I'm just saying in the Big Ten schedule. They will face Michigan.
I don't know their full schedule. I could try and pull it up for you.
Because Galdi is number 6. I'm just looking at who could Amos wrestle.
Iowa, Maryland, Northwestern, Minnesota, Ohio State. So we'll see a Hopke Amos. That will be exciting. I may have to try and make sure I can get to Madison for that one. Just kidding. It's in Minnesota. Ohio State. So that's
Okay.
Feldman, and then Purdue, Indiana, Michigan in February, late February, and then they got Northern Iowa. So yeah, they will wrestle.
So Amos is going to wrestle if the rankings stay. He'll wrestle number 10 Volker of UNI. He'll wrestle number 6 Galdi. He'll wrestle number 5 and number 3. So he's got.
So he wins, those matches. Maybe he takes one loss, maybe like that. And honestly, he might
Let's
not.
do in the top.
It would put him in the top 5 for sure. But talk about seeding for nationals. The only difference is though is
You get in the top 5, you pull 4 or something.
other than Volker, he's going to see them all again at Big Ten. So you kind of got to double down or win the most recent meeting, winning the Big Ten match, the Big Ten tournament match.
It's crazy that Volker and Sinclair met at 97 last year, and Volker kind of got the best of him. I would say, kind of, handily beat him, and then they both went opposite ways.
Aiden was undersized. Volker's a big guy.
And then who was at 97 for you and I that he went up?
I don't know.
Nobody. I don't know why he went up. But
their heavyweight was I think it was a guy that his brothers was somebody else on the team.
Gotcha.
I can't remember his name. I'll text Parker, see if he gets back to him.
But yeah, some good stuff in college. We can talk more on the Badgers later with their big upcoming weekend. And we got some other stuff for national duels. But the other big thing in the wrestling world, Evan Wick taking on Keegan O'Toole at RAF 06. Dude,
that's not just big for the wrestling world. That's big for Wisconsin world.
Everything. Dude. That's a podcast host, dude. Go Evan.
Yeah, washed up. This guy is.
He's not washed up. They're changing their name. He's freaking
one of the best in the country.
He's number 2 in the senior circuit, and he's wrestling RAF, and he's washed up. Pat's the washed up version of that. Sorry, Pat.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting match. They met because I was talking to Keegan last night about it. They met in 2022, I think, at Nationals.
No, they didn't wrestle at Nationals. They did?
That's what he said. I'll pull up the...
I don't remember that.
They've wrestled a little bit since. NCAs, March of 2022.
They did? What was the score?
I don't know. I can ask.
Keegan must have won that, right? Because Keegan only lost to Carr.
He only lost to Carr, and he lost to Carr, and he lost to Wenzel of Pitt in the semi.
The very first year.
But definitely interesting. That'll be a good match. I'm excited for that. I think that's one of the
lost to Carr, and then who did he lose to in the finals? A year ago or 2 years ago when he tore his ACL. Who did he lose to? Hamity. Yeah.
The match where he was up in that single leg bouncing around for like a minute. I was like,
yeah.
But RAF is they're making some good wrestling matches. But I wonder what
I want to see more. Obviously, like it takes time. Well, first off, how do you think that match goes? Wick and O'Toole. Obviously, they've trained together and stuff. They're buddies, but like, they're friends. But we're going to compete. You compete against your friend. But regardless, how do you think that match goes? You're really close with Keegan. You know Evan. You've seen them both wrestle.
I got to go with my boy Keegan. I think that if Keegan's ready, I mean, that's a big first match back.
Yeah, I think I like Keegan too. I think Evan wins that match, especially because it's Keegan's first match back.
It's crazy that it's usually you get your first match back. Maybe you go to like a ranking series tournament, or just. I mean, there's not a lot of options at this point for senior level guys, but like, let's go throw your name in. I mean, but that's Keegan. He just wants to scrap.
He does. Yeah.
If Keegan is ready to rock and roll, which I think he's going to be, is get to wrestle with Sinclair every day and all those guys in that room. I mean, I got to go with Keegan.
Evan did just lose though at RAF 3 to Hamity, which is interesting. I didn't.
He's 1-1. He won the belt against Nolf, which is a massive win, huge win, biggest win of his career. And then he loses to Hamity. He got pinned. I don't know what the score was leading up to that. I can't.
Hamity put him on his back at the end of that first period too.
Really?
So I think it was just a bad match for Evan.
So it's definitely. So
Keegan beat Evan at Nationals then. So
Yep.
maybe Keegan does win. That's the thing is I mean, this is Keegan's first match back, and as much as you
That's
can
the thing
replicate
that's
it in the
tricky
room,
for me.
that's how I feel, and that's why I would go with Evan for this one right now because as much as you want to replicate a match day, simulation day, singlets and everything, a rep
There's
in the
no,
previous, it ain't the same. It's just and he knows that. Everybody that's wrestled knows
and
that.
plus, this is probably besides national finals. I mean, there's just a lot of
They're
other
selling
theatrics
it out.
that go.
Yeah.
They're selling it out. There's the walk. There's a whole lot of. I mean, that is something that I do think, and I've heard people talk about this, like the extra stuff besides the match that lead into it. That is also, if you're not prepared to handle those things, the press conferences, the interviews. There's so many extra things that you have to do, and it's kind of like separate yourself from the competition. But there's an RAF this
Lance
weekend.
Runyon, sorry, Lance Runyon was the heavyweight at UNI
Mm,
last year, and he was nationally ranked.
yep.
So shout out
Uh,
Carter for getting.
But
Um.
RAF this
Oh,
weekend, pretty good
well, I was
card.
gonna. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
go.
I was gonna say that I forgot what I was gonna say. So RAF this weekend, yeah, we have friend of the show, Caden Henschel, taking on Bo Bassett. That's a
That's
fun
not
one.
the
That's a fun one.
okay. So, how does it go?
The people will obviously assume it will go 10-0 tech or just a tech fall for Bassett. But I will say this. If you've never wrestled with Caden before, um, that I mean, you stood next to him. He's shortish. He's not tall. Sorry, Caden. He is not tall, and he is pound. I mean, pound for
Braun?
pound at Parkside. Oh yeah, he might. Besides like Chi, and he probably competes with Chi in for that. But Caden's probably the strongest guy there. He is freaking like I will wrestle him, and I'm 180 pounds, and I'm like, well, it feels like I'm wrestling like a big guy. Like he is strong, very strong, and he's short, and he stays in good position. If he doesn't get overwhelmed by the million snaps that Bo Bass is going to try and do, and like come at him immediately, if he can like settle in and like just slow the pace down for the first 45 seconds, then I think he has a match. But if you can't just like slow it down in the beginning, then and that's like Bo Bassett matches like 101. If you can't just slow it down, which is easier said than done, but like you see the way he loses is somebody like ties him up and they don't get snapped to the floor because they are kind of in the controlled tie or like they slow it down. I mean, that's what you have to do. Again, easier said than done. But I am excited to watch the match. I
I
really
mean,
want to see how it goes. Yeah.
it's kind of cool that I mean, there's a high school kid that's doing it. That's pretty sick. But it's an interesting card. You've got Steve Mako is back. Would never have thought I'd get to watch Steve Mako wrestle again.
Wait, Steve
Um,
Mako's wrestling on that card?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
43 years old. How
They
crazy
do
is
pull out the old names. So that was what I was going to say. So like I do dig that they pull out some of these old names. They're bringing in some fighters, some stuff like that. It is fun. It is interesting. Obviously, we know they're out of their prime when it comes to actual wrestling. The one thing I'm hoping they can get more into is pulling international people that are in their primes. I know
yeah.
they've done a few of those. I know Cassiope wrestled the Olympic gold medalists, like
And
our
it
silver
seems
medalist. So it's like they need more of that because otherwise I think it's going to be too saturated with the same names over and over.
yeah. So I will say this is probably, if I'm looking, I mean, I did have to look at the other cards. It's probably my favorite card so far. You've got Mako and Elders
Really?
out of Egypt. I don't know a whole lot about this Elders guy, but I'm assuming he's good. He's
I think he was the Olympic rep for Egypt, right?
you've
Assuming
got
it's the young guy.
you've got Pat Downey and Buchanan, Wisconsin native. That's a fun match.
Now
I
he
like
just got
that.
smoked by freaking um, big black dude that's like 49 years old.
Romero.
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah,
Downey just get smoked by him?
he did, but
Steven Buchanan's going to smoke him too.
I like it. I'll watch that match. Downey's entertaining.
I will
He's
watch
wrestled
it.
in every single one. I think the dude's scrapping.
I'll watch it, but Steven Buchanan's taking it to him.
You've got Bassett and Henschel. It's funny that Bassett's 19. He's in high school. Just 19-year-olds in high school. I just don't see that a lot. Lance Palmer versus Tarzukan of Armenia. I don't know. He's out of Russia, but I don't know much about him. I like this one, Valencia and Nate Jackson. Dude, Nate Jackson has always been like just one away from making that world team. He's super
He's
solid.
always in the streets. That guy scraps.
Yes. You've got Muggsy and Some dude.
He's on a card again.
Yeah, a Poulos guy. I've never heard of this Poulos guy. I don't know. I like Pat Lugo and Johnny Julius. That's a fun match. Both dudes fun to watch. Tomasello DeSanto. I'll be watching that. Oliver Real Woods. I'll be watching that. Dake and Kadik. Another
Oh,
good
Dake's
match.
on this card.
Yeah, this is the best card so far. Nickel
I like the
Romero.
last one with Parker a lot. Oh, Nichols wrestling who again?
Romero.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't get why this better not be the main event. Covington and Rockhold. I don't care about that.
I think it is, isn't it?
I don't want to watch that. 37 and 41 years old. These dudes don't even wrestle. They're fighters.
Yeah, that one I don't care about as much.
Put
But they have
put
a
a
big
Dake or a
following.
Kadik as the main, or an Oliver Woods. Like those are some good wrestling matchups. But
Yes, but they're also I mean, they were good when they used to wrestle, and
we're
they have bigger crowds. Like think about the UFC. How do you get on the main card? You have a big pull. You have a
also
big.
fighting for a
Nate
belt.
Diaz. Did you see that clip that Ben was talking about with DC? Nate Diaz was like 16 and 12 in his career.
That
The
is,
reason you don't get dropped from the UFC is because you have so many people that want to watch you fight. Like,
yeah,
and I
but
mean, that's part of being on the main card, part of being the main event is how big of a pull do you have? Why is Muggsy on here? I mean, Caden's way better than Muggsy, but like, why are they on the card? Is because
Diaz did lose to a lot of freaking
huge
hammers for belts.
for sure he did, but like huge pull. Like if you can bring a ton of eyes, you're
It's
not going
crazy.
to be
I
like
was never a
match.
big UFC guy, but man, those fights with McGregor were crazy. I remember
Yeah,
and watching those. But yeah, I'm
they're
excited
doing
for
a great
RAF.
job. I
It
think they're doing a
sucks
great
that
job.
RAF is going to be during the most stressful time of my life, though. 7 p.m. on Saturday. I got a fiance that's a Bears fan. Dude, I don't need them chirping me. It's going to be stressful. Stressful night. But
Oh,
what?
this game is my Super Bowl because we are so injury rattled that like I just don't see us winning the whole thing. But if we beat the Bears, especially because like they're like
That's
I
all
mean
I
they're a
care
solid
about.
team, but like the Bears really don't have any excuses to lose this game. They're
Yeah.
not injury rattled like us. They don't have the excuses. They have a home game, et cetera, et cetera. We could have all the excuses in the world. So all I care about, we win this game. I don't care if we win the next round. I don't. You know, that's my Super Bowl.
I haven't even looked past it. I just want to beat the Bears.
I just want to beat the Bears. I'm good
God,
because we're so hurt. We're not making a Super Bowl run. If we do, holy shit. But
it's
that's it.
chaos.
I'm so excited for Saturday, and my happiness for the next several weeks will be riding on
I'm
Saturday. They
just
say you can do that. I do. I'm sorry.
I'm just
Sorry.
very happy that the Duffy invite is a Friday tournament.
Yeah.
Saturday, I can just settle in, watch some football, look at some results online. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But
So I will not be. She said, finals start at like 3 or 4. I'll be watching online.
thank God for live streams. You can watch it on Rokfin. You still have to pay the pay-per-view though, but it's on
Yeah,
Illinois.
and if you're wondering, if you're subscribed to WIwrestle or you do want to subscribe to WIwrestle, do it, and then you can still watch Cheesehead on Illinois Matt Men's channel because you can watch both channels. So if you're going to subscribe to WIwrestle, support us because we're the Wisconsin people. But then you will need to pay. They have like a pay-per-view thing that's
Yeah.
past the subscription, so you have to have your subscription to whatever channel you choose on Rokfin, WIwrestle. But then beyond that, there is the pay-per-view that they do as well. So just so everyone understands how that works out. So,
Well,
but it
let's
will be on
keep,
Rokfin. It will be on Illinois Matman. It's going to be a freaking awesome tournament.
we'll keep her moving here. Shout out to our favorite farms, our
There's
favorite
so much to
farm,
get to.
Grappling Gardens. Check them out, grapplinggardens.com. They've got all their good stuff. Check out their seasonal produce. Check out their honey, their syrup, all that good stuff. They got it all up on their website. They'll keep you updated on where they're at for farmers market and whatnot. So make sure to check them out, grapplinggardens.com. Keep it moving. Wrestler of the week. A weird wrestler of the week in terms of we had like kind of a super long week. So some people might have been confused by that, but we had the Christmas tournaments. We had last weekend's tournaments, but the wrestler of the week goes to JD Minder Brockett of Hudson. He had a very impressive run at the Bi-State Classic. He was the 6th seed, came out and had a solid run, making it all the way to the finals and picking up a big win over the unbeaten freshman Cameroon. So wrestler of the week goes to JD. Congratulations to him. And then team of the week goes to Mount Hora Barneveld. Very impressive tournament at the Bi-State Classic, beating many really good Minnesota teams, and then also placing ahead of a lot of really solid Wisconsin teams. A lot of just great teams at that tournament. So shout out to Mount Hora Barneveld on Team of the Week. I see you've got overreactions are coming up. Give us a little scoop on that.
Yes, sir. I don't want to give too much away, but I filmed it last night. As soon as we get off this podcast, I need to do the editing. So I'm going to fire through that quickly, and then I will be posting it right away. For all those that want to watch overreactions, we're back. Season 3 it seems to be a fan favorite. We've had a lot of questions why I have not been doing it so far this year. Well, I'm back.
Dude.
That's in the past. Who cares? We're back. And by the way, I come in hot, I think, on this one. Mount Horeb may or may not be on there. I'm just saying that because you just awarded them Team of the Week. I come in hot and throw some shots out there, and hey, you can't do overreactions if you ain't gonna have some hot takes, and that's all I'm saying. We got some hot takes this week.
I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, if I waited till Christmas, I better start it with a bang.
So yeah, I'm excited to watch that. I gave you some insight on some potential hot takes, but I don't really know what your hot takes are. So I'm gonna be, when you tell me it's released, I'm gonna be right clicking it. I'll be watching it. But new rankings are out, so make sure to go check those out. Let's just start off with this. Dude, what the heck? 138 in Division 1? Every single person in the top 8 moved. That doesn't happen very often. You got Gene Court from 4-1, Cassidy went 6-2, Schneider 7-3, Sternweiss 8-4, Henderson was 1, he's at 5, Fahey 2-6, Larson 3-7, and Sandoval 5-8.
Dude,
you guys must have had fun ranking this one.
Beat Gene Court once this year, and then if I'm remembering correctly, Gene Court then beat Schneider in a rematch. Schneider beat Sternweiss at the start of the year. Sternweiss just beat Henderson at Bi-State, and then Catsby's just like the one guy that's kind of like kind of better. What just ding? Oh, I just got a message. Oh, Jake.
What?
132. You still didn't upload it to the rankings?
It's up there.
Oh, I just got a DM that says it ain't up there.
So there's some issue right now.
Yes, it is.
So on my end, it is up. There is some sort of issue in that when you click on Division 1, and I was going to ask the Rokfin guys about this. When you click on it, it shows you as, so if you click 138, it shows you 132. But then if you click 126 and then go back to 132, it shows you it. It's all weird. I don't get it. But I'm looking right now at 132. I can see.
Sounds like a bug. Yeah, they just said, I got another DM that said that it is. It's just after 138.
And it's the only division that's doing that. So I've actually had the thought of, instead of having each weight an individual tab, it's just one long sheet. So
I hate that. Illinois Madman does it that way.
But
I'll be honest, the tabs is way better.
The tab, I mean, I'm looking at 132 right now. Max Hay,
right.
number 1.
It's there.
But anyways.
It's there. I trust. Yes, 138, though, is super chaos, like super duper chaos. And I just have a feeling it's not going to stay this way. You literally texted us in our group chat with the rankings, and you were like, guys, where's Nathan Henderson? He was just number 1. And then you're like, oh, shit, he's at 5. Like just an absolute, pardon my French, shit show of chaos this week, specifically with this weight class. I mean, everything was kind of chaotic with the weight changes and everything, but yeah.
It is chaotic. Very, very chaotic.
And these top 3 guys, we'll get into the Duffy later. The Duffy is, I mean, it's one of the best Friday night tournaments in the state all year round, but it is sneaky good with the matchups this year. The finals alone are worth getting the subscription for because, oh my gosh. But those top 3 guys, 1, 2, and 3 in the state and D1, all of them are at the Duffy. So
it's gonna be crazy.
Something could get shaken up again.
It's gonna be some very good matches. We'll talk more on that later, but just a couple things in the rankings that I thought were interesting. 6 of the top 12 at 120 dropped down to 113 in D2. It's crazy. It's crazy to see the difference of D1. There is some movement of people moving down, but D2 and D3, holy smokes, there is a ton of movement. So in Division 3, you had Underwood was number 1 at 26. He drops to 20. Sheard was number 2. He drops to 126. He's now number 1. Ramage was number 1 at 138, but now he drops to 132, where he's number 2 against behind Orloff. Johnson was number 3 at 44. He drops to 138, claims the top spot. Klug is down as the number 1 guy to 150. Ham is down a weight. Bussey's down. Like, those are 3 number 1 guys that are pretty solidified at those weights. They all shift down. It's just weird how much movement there is. Hinderman was 6. He's now number 2 at 75. It's just weird that there's just so much movement, and I don't. It's just weird that you could be a number 1 guy, pretty solidified at a weight, and then drop. It's just
I have this immediate theory that just popped into my head, and I have no basis to say that this is accurate or not, but I'm wondering why that could be. I'm curious if anybody else has some thoughts on why D2 and D3 have a lot more movement with weight classes, dropping weights, than maybe D1 does this year. One theory is obviously just like, I got 2 now. Okay, they're coming to me. One could be that maybe we have more locks in D1, so people are trying to fit into specific weight classes. That could be it. The other theory is a lot of the, not all obviously, but a lot, I feel like, of the D1 schools, like obviously they come in the more populated areas. In those populated areas, you have a bunch of like AWA clubs. And I feel like at AWA, it's been almost more of like, I'm not saying this is like it's being pushed on the kids or anything like that, but almost like it's been coming more of a culture of like not cutting weight.
Yeah.
And then you have like D2 and D3 where like, yeah, maybe some of those guys go to AWA and stuff, but a lot of them also live just like so far away from one of those kind of clubs like a Crass or an AWA or, some of those other clubs. So maybe it's just like that's still kind of the thing, the norm. That's the theory I have. I'm not sure that would be accurate. But like I do know if you go to some of the clubs, like a Crass and an AWA and there's a handful of those like Nazar, like I don't think guys are cutting as much as they maybe used to 5-10 years ago. Like it's becoming less of a thing. But if you're not consistently wrestling in club wrestling where your club coaches are advising you as much, it's kind of still the trend, maybe.
Well, it's interesting because when I was in high school, I got to freshman year, and we got to this point of the year, and everyone's like, "Oh, time to drop," and I'm like, "I'm not dropping." It was a bunch of people that they were in season wrestlers, and they were above average, but it was just like the norm. You started at one weight, and then you dropped, and I was like, I'm not like why would we drop? Like let's just wrestle our weight. But it does seem to be more of like that rural school kind of non-club. But it's just interesting that the number 1s are dropping. Like I can see if you're like number 8 at a weight and you're getting down and whatnot, but it is interesting that many people moved around. Question for you: if you had to pick a weight or two, that is your like if the ranking stayed, what?
So finish your statement. You texted me this like 30 minutes before the show. You're like, can you pick some weights? And we don't know what our weights are going to be that each of us pick, but finish what you're going to say and I'll explain why I'm laughing.
If you had to pick a weight right now that is not going to have any movement, it's just this is it. This is the bracket, and it's the most exciting weight you think. What would that be?
So you told me to pick 3 to try to find 3 different weights. That would be really exciting. So I went through the rankings and I said, okay, if nothing changed right now, which would be the most exciting. Okay, you have 6. You told me to pick 3. You have 6. Well,
I don't want to pick yours. Just in case we had some doubles. You're going to go first.
I picked 10. I wrote down 10 weights. I'm like, I was going through it. I'm like, oh, this one, I really want to watch this one. And then I kept
weights.
Ooh, I really want to watch this one. And then I'm like, ooh, and then I had like 4 through Division 1. I'm like, I got 2 and 3 to go still.
So I actually was like, I had 2 in D1. I'm like, all right, it's time to move on. Let me hear, like, you don't have to give me the full breakdown, but I want to hear what your 10 are because I have my 6 if we match up at all.
D1 120. Moody, Swick, Lancaster. I think that's like Some of them are it's like, okay, I'm really excited because of the finals matchup, what that could be. Um, but that was one of them, like D1 120,
I
Moody
had
Swick
120 as
Lancaster.
well.
Lancaster being number one, and then Moody and Swick, Moody beating Swick. Like that could be good. That could be really good. D2 or D1 126.
I also
I
have
I do believe Max Hay is dropping into that weight class. So that's going to be potentially Zonbiel, Gavin Walters, Andy DiPiazza, Needham, and Hay all wrestling. Oh, tell me who comes out at top of that bracket. Take a pick. I don't know.
I have no
I
idea.
really don't know because none of them are unbeatable and they can all beat each other.
That is a tough one. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that one. And then my last D1 weight was
Honestly, I might
157.
have a pick right there. I got an idea.
157 North, Xanton, Shepherd, and Newville. Sometimes the weights where you don't have the best guys in the state wrestling
Make
at
for the
are
most
the
fun.
better ones because you're like, who the hell is going to win this weight class? Like Xanton's number one, sure, and I could see it becoming boring, right? I could see Xanton just doing his thing, right? Just getting wins, but I could just see it like being completely opposite where these guys are just scrapping and we just have last second scores. Somebody steals one late. Like I could see that happening. Somebody pins somebody in the semis. It can make it really exciting. So D1 157 could be really exciting. What
That's
did you have in D1?
I had D1 120 for the exact same reason. Lancaster, Moody, and Swick.
Yeah.
I had 126, Beal, Walters, DiPiazza, all of them.
Needham, Hay.
And then after that, I was like, well, I already have two in D1. If I had to pick another one, it would have been 57 with Xanton and
Oh,
that.
come on, brother.
But besides that, then everything else is kind of locks, right? I mean,
Well,
138 is in that realm. But I kind of feel like all the other weights, you kind of have a clear favorite. Warple at 6, you've got but those three like you said, 126, dude, you could probably wrestle that bracket 5 times and have a different order of placement. Like it's crazy. And if Hayes in that mix, dude, I lean towards a
I
DPI
think he's going
champ.
down. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like he is.
I'd have just steady and just if I had to make a pick right now, I'm going DiPiazza.
I mean, I can't tell you you're wrong. I mean, does DiPiazza get it done? I mean, he's been close, obviously, but it's like Zonbiel obviously was undefeated going into state last year. That was at like 113 or
Yeah,
something. But like,
I think it was
he's
120,
very
and he dropped
he's
to
super good,
Kurt.
but he's not like right now. He's not like untouchable. There's nobody in that weight class that's untouchable.
That
They
is
beat each other.
so. Then my other weights, I had D2 157 with Scholes and Gonzalez. I just want to watch that
Yeah.
match 1,000 times. Uh,
Oh yeah.
I had D2 215 with Kaczynski and Matthias being the two top dogs, and then throw in Kruger, big move potential, and then Halvish, the unbeaten freshman. I think that's a fun one. I had D3 132. What?
How about D2? Let's go through because I have some D2 ones. So I was gonna say,
All right. So I have D2 157 and 215.
Okay, so I also have D2 157, and it is simply because I know there's other people in the bracket, but I mean, I'm going with that's going to be a Skulls
Campbell
Gonzalez final. They're on the opposite sides, and it is going to be potentially the match of the night.
If they're on the same side of the bracket, I'm gonna cry.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
That has to be a state
And
final.
you'll be able to see me. Everybody that's at the Kohl Center during the semifinals. If they're wrestling each other in the semifinals, you will physically be able to see me sitting there next to the mat, crying while I'm recording with the camera. I'll just.
This is a prime time match.
But if it's the finals, that may need to be the last match of the night. Because I mean, it just has match of the night type of makings. So maybe it should be the last match of the night. Okay, so D2 157. If we see Scholes Gonzalez in the finals, that'd be amazing. I also have D2 175. Because I don't think there's a clear cut favorite. I know Spencer Madsen just beat Kilpowski in the on the water finals,
15-6.
but
High scoring
yeah,
match.
but I watched the match, and he as well as he looked, he also had a lot of openings that he kind of like Kilpowski was right there, but then Madsen kind of shut down or went Madsen's way. I think Kilpowski can beat him, but Madsen obviously has beaten him, and I don't think Kilpowski's out of it. I'll say that, but Madsen's the favorite. But then it's just like the weight itself. I think a lot of those guys, you know, who shows up. Eli Mayer, Tommy Heiser are the next 3 and 4 ranked guys in that weight class.
Duds.
that's exciting, right? Like that is exciting. So I think that one could be fun. And then 215 for the same reasons you had. Kaczynski is the number one guy, right? But you can't tell me that
Matthias is not going to bring in the heat.
Max Matthias can beat. I mean, he can beat some of the best in the country when he's on. So Max Matthias coming in, and then you did mention him, but like Preston Krieger, that guy can throw anybody. It could be Kaczynski, it could be Matthias. You don't want to go upper body with him because he can put you on your back and pin you, and the match is over. And all of a sudden you're like, what the hell just happened? Elliot Havish, obviously, we've been talking about him a little bit. He's kind of gaining some steam. And then you didn't mention the next guy at number 5, Cade Splinter, made the Fargo semifinals this year, and that guy's pretty dang good.
Yeah,
and he's at number 5. So that weight, I know Kaczynski's going to be the favorite, sure, but he's not a lock. I don't think with the field that's there, the dynamic of what Krieger can do, how good Matthias is when he's on, I don't think that weight's a lock.
That's a fun one.
It could turn into a weight where Kaczynski does bonus point his way through the tournament. It could happen.
I just don't see him.
I don't feel like it's a lock.
I don't see a bonus point win over Matthias. He would have to be on top of his A game. That would be crazy. It's hard to an athlete like Matthias. It's hard. You're always in the match. Okay, so yes.
Also, did you read the comments? Holly Farrell, she said, "Didn't Zahn beat DiPiazza at Eau Claire?" This is my point. This is what we're saying. Anybody
he did.
Anybody. Yeah, but this is like people can beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is one of those ones where it's close. Like I think
1-0 maybe.
People can beat people. I'm looking right now.
Because Zahn beat Moore in the finals 13-7, which Moore is. D3, I had 1 because
Zahn did not wrestle DiPiazza at Eau Claire at the Husky. So,
dude, I just like how DiPiazza can slow a match down, and I feel like he might drop a match here or there, but he's consistent. I think he's very
consistent,
level-headed, and he gets to his stuff. He can slow the match down. He's really good on top. I like those attributes.
DiPiazza lost to Tegan Moore in the semis 2-1.
Okay. D3, I just picked 1 because I was like, I said 2-3, and I was already at 4 at this point. With Ramage dropping down from 38, I really like D3 132. I like it's Orloff, Ramage, Spearings, and Gracel. That's a good top 4. Ramage obviously lost to Collins, I think like 16-5 or something.
He's beaten Collins too.
He's also beaten Collins. Ramage is very hard to wrestle. He's very clingy.
If I remember correctly, it was at Mid-States where Orloff just beat him this year. So he beat Collins at Mid-States last year. I think Ramage did, if I remember right.
Maybe, yeah. Spearings is always ready to battle. He's in a lot of great matches. So that weight for me is kind of, with the way that Orloff just wrestled Collins, maybe the favorite. But, dude, Ramage I've heard from a lot of the kids, he's very hard to wrestle. He's very hard to move. He can scramble really well. So
when he's wrestling his best, he's very, very tough. Orloff, I think, is a much better folk styler than he is freestyler. He obviously, I think it was a 4-0 loss to Koji Campbell in the state finals last year. We all know how good Koji Campbell is. But like Orloff's a guy that, he's right there, especially when like the lights are on. I feel like he does better. Like this at state in the finals, like things like that. Like I do think he does better and he performs really well. I've watched him wrestle. He's tough. He's athletic. He looks strong. I've never got to get the old paws on him, but I think he is probably pretty strong. But yeah, this isn't a lock. I agree. This is a weight that I also had written down on my list with him, Grassel, and Spearings. But I also at D3 had 126 because it's Sheard, who has not won state yet, Regan Roy, who does have a state title on his hands, Liam Carey, and I almost said Colton Weiler, but it's not. It's Carson Weiler. Carson Weiler, who's very good in his own right. And I feel like he's one of the guys that has continued to get better. And he's young, but I think he's making gains even during the season. So that's a fun weight. Yes, Sheard's probably the favorite, right?
It is a fun weight.
But that's a fun weight, though. Like Regan Roy, Liam Carey, Carson Weiler. Sheard can be the favorite. That's fine. But I think each of those guys in their own right has deserved to be in that discussion.
Okay.
That's the second one I had. What else you got?
Well, that's all I had from D3 because I was
Oh,
picking too
okay.
many.
I got two more
Okay.
because I
Of
didn't
your
care. I just
10
kept
then.
going.
I
I kept
thought
going.
I thought when I picked 6, I was like, oh, I'm above and beyond.
I picked 10. So D3 144. Roger Flaggy, Kale Quaintance, Sanchez, Bussin, and Meese. I think it's Meese. That's a good one. Meese is at 5, and he was in the state finals last year, and he was number 1 earlier this year.
Yeah. Acquaintance was a state champ. I mean, that is
Flaggy
a
was
crazy
state
weight.
champ. Flaggy beat Ari, who beat Quaintance.
That is
That was at King of the North. Yeah. And then Sanchez from Shiocton, and then I believe it's Carson Bussin.
Sanchez just had a close match with Immel, and we know how good Immel is. Yeah, that is a good weight class right there.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a fun one because to tell you the truth, I know Flag. I know Flag is number 1, and I like him, but he is not a heavy favorite. That's one where you could bet all the way down to the 5. Like these guys could all be. They could all be plus. Like they're all going to be plus. There's not going to be
Good
a favorite.
quarterfinal matchups is what I'm hearing.
Yes, there'll be good quarterfinal matchups. It'll be like plus, the favorite could be like a plus 100 instead of a minus. Like if you were putting betting odds on it. So that's a really fun weight class because D1 126, you can wrestle that 5 times. You may get 5 different orders. It is very possible.
100%. What else you got? You have one more?
Last one, D3 165. We got returning state champ Bussy, who just dropped down, and then Liam Richards, and then Peterson, Dannenberg, and Hargrove. Aquinas is the 5th guy that rounds it out. Sound it out, man. Sound it out. So that's a really fun one. Liam Richards has been climbing up. I've heard people kind of mention him a couple of times, like, dude's good. And it's he's good, but he's kind of been climbing the ranks a little bit, I felt like. Or you could even just say, like, not even climbing the ranks, but making you feel more comfortable, I guess, if that's, what I'm saying. And then Peterson, obviously, Cumberland and Dannenberg, Mineral Point, and then Aquinas with Hargrove. Those guys they're good. Peterson and Hargrove wrestled this year, and again, Peterson's 3, Hargrove's 5, and that was a 5-2 win. Yeah. So they're all right there. And I think, Bussy's returning state champ. Sure, he's a favorite. That he's earned that, clearly. Big cheeser. But I don't think anyone's a lock in this one either. Richards also beat Dannenberg. He beat him 8-1. So it's like that's 2 and 4. So I mean, this could be really fun. Nobody in this weight class is undefeated this year. So
it's a fun weight. I have one on the girls' side.
Ooh, okay. What you got?
I can't imagine these two stay at the same weight, but you never know. I've got Hanran, Chesker, Banks, Fletcher, and Groom are all in the same weight. That is chaos. There's no way that they all stay there.
So that's one of the questions in the
comments. You've got multiple Fargo All-Americans. Obviously, the rematch of Hanran and Chesker last year, the state finals. Banks is a state champ.
I still can't believe that ended the way.
There's just Fletcher's great. Groom's and all. There's just that whole weight has a lot of just firepower. I did see that comment. I feel like there's
an interesting question.
I feel like there's less movement. I would say there's less movement, but there's still a little bit of movement. I just feel like there's so many there's like your number 1 and then the field. I think a lot of weights have a clear number 1. You've got like a Peach, you've got a Whiting, a Bianchi, you've got a Huffman, but this weight is kind of crazy that they're all here if they were to move around a little bit, but it's like, where do you, because I know like we were talking about Cora Stewart might be going all the way down to 7.
Banks is, the top 3 are all nationally ranked.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it's like literally like number 1, number 2, or number 3, something like that is Chesker, and then Banks is also nationally ranked. She was like, whatever, maybe the highest she was like 14 or something at the time. And I remember. But so like, yeah. My take on that question, Tanner, is I think there's less movement from the girls, but I do think that part of it obviously is a result of, I think, basically every single weight class, the number one guys or excuse me, the number one girl is nationally ranked. So that's part of it. But I feel like the movement that does happen is a lot of like the number two, number three type of person in the girls versus like the
Yeah.
girls that are further down in the ranks, they stay put. But then the couple of girls that are like right below number one at each weight, that's where you kind of see more of the movement from versus sometimes you see it from like the guys later because it's like you got to figure out who's in your sectional to try and make the state tournament and stuff like that. I don't think that's the case as much with the girls.
Crazy that at the weight that I was just talking about at 138, you've got, and this is in the pound for pound, they're all pound for pound. You've got number 2 Hanran, you've got number 5 Chesker, you got number 7 Banks, you've got number 11 Groom Frey, and then you've got number 22 Fletcher. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's our girls pound for pound. Yeah.
Yeah. So does it stay that way? I don't know, but that's the girls' weight I had. I thought that was a fun one.
Yeah, I would agree. I think what happens with like 114, obviously Cora Stewart has dropped down now. I'm just on watch with that one because you've got Whiting, Thomas, Stewart, Baker, and I've heard rumblings that Stewart is still going down, and she's really, really good, which is nuts. But that's one where it's like, is she going to keep going down or is she not? How's the cut going to go? Because she was at 120. She wasn't even at 114. So that's one that I'm watching as well because then it changes. I mean, it just changes up. Like all of a sudden 107, if she makes it, is she going to be a shell of herself or is she going to be like pretty good? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause if she's pretty good, she's probably the favorite. But if she's not wrestling to her capabilities, then it gets really interesting because then you have Cook and Albrecht and Miller and then Stewart. And then, I mean, there's a few other girls in there, but those would probably be the top 4 that you would want to keep an eye on at 107.
Agreed. It's a really good weight. That was fun.
That's one that's a little bit more open, especially if Stewart makes that weight.
Very open.
Not
a
as
lot of talent, but kind of
energetic.
what we said earlier is just not a clear.
Well, compared to every other weight class has a nationally ranked girl
Yep.
at every single weight. It's like, okay, I think was it this Albrecht or was it her sister that might have been in the national rankings at one point? That I cannot remember, but yeah, it's compared to some of the others where you have number 1 Whiting, number 1 Huffman, number 1 Hanrahan. Like compared to some of those weights, it's a little more open. It's about perspective.
100%. Well, that was 2 to 3, more like 10. I love it. That was good. Well, let's keep it moving here. Quick shout out, Combat Corner. Make sure to check out our merch. We'll be selling some stuff at the Duffy. If you're there, you can buy some stuff. If not, check out our website, hit shop. It will take you right to Combat's website. We've got all of our stuff in stock. Plus, they've got all their other merchandise on the website, shoes, hoodies, whatever you guys need, they've got it. And they got custom apparel. So if you guys need shirts for state, you need stuff for team state, you want to get the fans something, make sure to check out combatcorner.com. We will be making a trip to Port Washington on Friday for the Duffy. We'll be back. We've been there. I think we've been there every year. We did the finals last year. We're doing the whole thing again this year. It is loaded. You had texted me and Angelo, the ranked wrestlers, and I looked at it and I was like, damn. 46 ranked wrestlers, 4 ranked teams. What are we thinking?
That's not even the part that gets me excited, Jake. Guys, the part that gets me excited is what we could be seeing. Like the brackets themselves are good, and every weight class has ranked wrestlers. And the finals is what's like got me in a tizzy here because the finals of this tournament. I mean, all right, I'll give you the highlights of what's got me excited. At 106, we could see number 2 and number 3 in the state between D3 and D1. Okay, Brody Lewis and Sterling Shannon from Ozaki. Also, I need to check the weights. I was at wrestling last night, and somebody told me that Shannon wrestled Heinerman in the duel. Heinerman's at 13. He's number 3. If that is true, and I'm guessing it wouldn't have been from Heinerman dropping, it would have been Shannon going up. If Shannon went up to wrestle that match, because they wrestled Cedar Grove, Belgium. They got killed Cedar Grove Belgium was very good. They got 9 guys in the rankings. But if he went up to 13 to wrestle that match, on paper, all I'm going to say is I just want to tip my cap to you. I know he lost, but if you went up to wrestle that match and it wasn't Hireman going down, dude, I just shout out you for just going out there to scrap and take on, like, I mean, that guy's number 3 in the state at the weight class above you. All right, see how it goes. If that's what the case is, I'd like to build that narrative for him right now. If it's not the case, I'll drop that narrative and never bring it up again. But if it is, it's pretty cool. I know in college, ASU, Larkin just bumped up to, I don't know if you saw this, is it Kyler's the bigger one at 149? Like in the duel, like last night or 2 nights ago, Larkin's ranked at 149, and he bumped up to take on number 7 at 157 in the duel, and he beat him. Like, that's cool. When people bump up, if you don't know if you're going to win or not, but you're like, I want the challenge, that's cool stuff. I like that. Anyways, back to the Duffy. So 106, we could see 2 and 3 in the finals. Let's see. 126. This is the big one.
It's gonna be
Max A, number 1 Max A, number 1 Willie Duchemin, number 1 Martez Sheard. Oh my gosh.
That is nuts.
Tell me that isn't just awesome. Absolute awesomeness. Hay and Sheard is a electric factory match waiting to happen. Just absolute, like, no ifs, ands, or buts. That match is one of those ones where it's just like fireworks.
Guys are glued to the mat.
There's no way that match doesn't just have fireworks. Like, as simple as that. So that's 126. Number 1 Max Hay, number 1 Martez Sheard, number 1 Willie Duchemin. I don't even care who wins. I just want to watch that. So that's 126. 138, we talked about earlier. It's the top 3 ranked guys in the state, plus number 5 Tyler Paulson from Aquinas. So 4 guys in the top 5 and 3 from D1. Number 1, Gene Court. Number 2, Casfee. Number 3, Schneider. All top 3 at D1. That one's fun. 144, we have 2 big cheesers that we could see in the finals. Carson Newbert, number 1 ranked in D1, and Roger Flaggy, number 1 ranked in D3. Newbert, sure, maybe it's a favorite. I don't care. That's a match I want to watch. They have similar styles. Flaggy and Newbert, both very good on top. I don't know if either have a specific go-to attack on their feet, but they're both good at scoring on their feet, if that makes sense. I know Flaggy likes a 2-on-1 and things like that. So somewhat similar styles, very good mat wrestlers. This could be an interesting match. And it's 2 number 1 guys in the States, so at the same weight class. So that will be sick. Keep it moving though, because there's more to talk about. 165, number 3, number 4, number 5, and then number 10 and number 12. Bremer and Gross are ranked 3rd and 4th, and then Hargrove is ranked 5th. We just talked about Hargrove potentially pushing for a state title at 165 and D3. Certainly possible. And then you got number 3 and 4 in the state in D1 with Bremer and Gross. That will be fun. And then 285. Guess what? Another, not 1, not 2, but 3. Number 1 versus number 1 ranked matchups in the state at the Duffy. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Not 1 versus 2, 1 versus 1. We got 3 of them at the Duffy on Friday night. This one is number 1 Tyson Martin and number 1 D'Angelo Clay. From D'Angelo Clay's in D1 and Martin's number 1 in D3. Oh, and by the way, just for funsies, we're going to throw in number 4 in D1 McIntosh, because why not? So to say I'm really excited for the Duffy on Friday is a little bit of an understatement. To say I'm excited for the finals is also this is like a wing and a prayer, a hope. Garrett Konchitsky is number 1 in the state. There's at 215. There's nobody ranked at 215.
Does they bump up and tangle with the
really
big
hope
guys?
he's like, you know what? I want to challenge and I want to just like make a statement and test myself against these guys. And he bumps up and wrestles those other 2. Because you know what? No one's going to look at you differently. You're the 215 guy bumping up to 285. You're going for the challenge. It's a win-win scenario. You win the whole thing. It's like, holy shit. You don't win the whole thing. It's like, dude, shout out you for bumping up to take on not 1, but 2 number 1 guys in the state trying to beat them. Plus McIntosh. So I really hope he does it. That's the stuff where like that guy's a boss. That guy's a baller. Win or lose, choosing to make that decision, that's a baller situation. That's a baller thing to do.
When people bump up and do things like that, it's awesome.
I don't care if you win or lose. Like, obviously you want to win, and I'd love to see you win. But like, you've got my respect for doing it anyway, right?
Makes it fun. Chase the challenge.
Yep.
But dude, Duffy's gonna be sweet. We'll have all mats live on Rokfin on Friday. Make sure to check it out if you can't make it there in person. Catch
Do
all
you
the
have one that you're most favorited for or excited for?
dude. I like 144 is really fun. I like that one. I always like the big guys. D'Angelo Clay wrestles very hard. That match that he had last year with Nehemiah was crazy. I think Tyson's the favorite here, but just the pace and the way that Clay wrestles, you can never count him out. And I also like 132. There's a little bit of chaos there, multiple ranked guys. Tech Myers coming off a really impressive run at On the Water. He's got a couple other ranked guys. Can he keep it rolling? Does he keep riding the streak of last week? So I think
That's an interesting wrinkle. Techmeyer is like, all right, he just balled out at On the Water, winning that whole bracket.
you go
And
unranked and now
can he
top
do it
five.
again?
Yeah.
Can he do it again? Because you got multiple state ranked guys in his bracket.
So I mean, every weight's fun. The fact that every bracket's
Every weight is fun.
multiple ranked wrestlers, it's gonna make for
Yeah.
some interesting things. So
I mean, that was the highlight, right? Like that was the highlight we're talking about. That's not even like every weight is fun.
yeah. So I mean, quarterfinals on. There's gonna be some fire matchups. So make sure to check it out. But we'll have some more articles coming out about that event. But we'll keep it going here. Switching gears, Wisconsin. Wisconsin takes on Iowa, and there's some good matchups here. What are we thinking?
I don't want to give anything away. Go watch overreactions when I post it here in a little bit. But I could see Wisconsin winning this duel. Is all I'm gonna say.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Could
I'll leave it
Carver
at that. Check out overreactions. A lot of great matchups. Dude, it's going to be hard to do anything in Carver Hawkeye. That is a vicious place to compete, from what I've heard. But there's some very good matchups. I'm excited to see 25. I'm excited to see 33. I mean, 49. I mean, there's a lot of. It's interesting that they don't have
I
Anemi.
think the matches that Iowa's favored in, and the rankings like don't do it complete justice. Like Rivera and Fugit are perfect examples of like, okay, they're 11 and 14. Are you know what I mean? Like Fugit should have beaten Ayala in the semis. I'm still salty about that match at NCAAs. Like he got screwed. He got hosed a little bit. It didn't change the final of the match. Essentially, I mean, it did sort of, but it happened earlier. You know, it wasn't like a last second takedown or something like that. But like those two guys are. I mean, they may not be the favorite by the ranking on paper. They can both win, and there's several of those in this here where you look at the ranking and you're like, okay, that's not good, but that's just not the case. I think they're in several of these matches or could win.
I'm really excited for heavyweight. I'm really excited for 25 and 33. It's going to be a great duel. That goes down, I think, like 7 p.m. on Friday night. But then quick turnaround. They then take on Maryland. That's at
Yep,
home.
Sunday. I think I'm going. I think I'm gonna go up there and watch that.
So
Just be there to watch.
two big duels. It'll be a good test on Friday night. But that's all I got. Is there anything
It's
else?
here, baby.
Anything else that you want to?
National duels. National duels is this weekend,
Right,
homeboy.
we got a preview for that too. Dude, it's a loaded weekend. Parkside.
Parkside for the 3 seed going into national duels. This is massive.
How you
This
feeling
is
about it?
massive, dude. And they could be. I mean, they could be even better. I mean, they could win it. They legitimately could win it. Yeah. I saw. So this 1 seed is Central Oklahoma. 2 seed is Nebraska Kearney. 3 seed is your own Wisconsin Parkside. And then in D3, we got La Crosse, who's the 3 seed as well. And the 1 seed is Wartburg, 2 seed is Augsburg, 3 seed is La Crosse. Somebody better bring home a damn title. That's all I'm saying.
It'll be a good weekend. We got a preview coming out shortly, I think.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. I think they both can do it. It always depends on who shows up, right? But yeah, they both could do it. They could both be in the national finals for those matchups for sure. And Parkside has some guys that are Becker doesn't have plugged in for like being ranked, but they are like maybe the starter or maybe like an Emmett Nelson. I don't think is ranked by the coaches at 141, but he just, if he was, he'd be ranked like fourth in the country or something. But he's like their backup right now because he's a true freshman. So I don't like. Will he be the starter? I don't know. Is he wrestling at national duels? I don't know. But if he is, like all of a sudden you're pretty damn good at the, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's some situations like that. So yeah, it'd be it's gonna be good, very good.
Well, heck yeah. Well, make sure to check out Rokfin for all the content we got coming out.
So much. Kigo.
We had a couple things the past couple days, and we've got a lot more coming up. And then we've got that event on Friday. We'll be live from the Duffy, all mats live. So
Yeah, you're at work still. Just pull it up on Rokfin. We'll have the
on the
matches.
phone, check it out. But we thank you guys for
There is an
tuning
app.
in.
You didn't know that. For several years now, they've had a Rokfin app in case people didn't know. So you can watch it on your phone without having to go to the actual internet thingy. You just go to the app, log in, and click it.
But we will be live Friday. We look forward to a great weekend of wrestling. But we thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.